Welcome to All Home Care Matters, the show where we discuss all things home care, with discussions on important age-related matters and topics. Brought to you by Enriched Life Home Care Services, the #1 rated home care provider in Michigan by Top Rated Local.
Hello, and welcome back to All Home Care Matters. If this is your first time visiting us here at the show, we want to say thank you for taking time out to be with us today. We appreciate how valuable everyone's time is, and that's why we try and make each episode here at All Home Care Matters something that will hopefully matter to you. Today, we are honored to welcome back Kimberly Anderson. She is the Director of Business Development at UI Medical, the makers of the QuickChange Wrap. Welcome back, Kimberly. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And it's so good to be back, Lance. We appreciate you having us back and letting us tout our wonderful product of the QuickChange Wrap.
Absolutely. Well, we love touting it because it is a remarkable product that's making such a difference for, especially men and, these incontinence issues and urine management. I wanted to kind of talk today a little bit about veterans and wheelchair users, right? Let's start here though. What is the QuickChange Wrap and how does it help men with incontinence?
Well, like we had said before previously, it is a one shape and one size fits all that is applied to gentlemen's genitals to capture urine as an alternative to catheters and being catheterized. It holds 500 mLs and it dries to the touch in just a few moments. So it's maintaining that skin integrity, preventing infection and caries and skin breakdown.
Who would you specifically say the QuickChange Wrap is designed for?
It's designed for those that are non-ambulatory, those that are confined to a wheelchair or a bed, and little mobility. Although we do have to say that there are men that may not be incontinent, but maybe they're high risk fall and you don't want them getting up in the middle of the night. You can keep them on the bedside table, and it's great to use during the night. They just remove a soiled wrap, dump it in the trash next to them, pull off the bedside table, a wrap, apply it. And that way they're not taking the chance of falling in the middle of the night and breaking a hip or anything else. And so, just playing around with them, seeing what works best for you and how to protect it. But we do have a lot of different applications on our website, and you can see how it's applied to different scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have any special feedback or reviews that people maybe have sent in to you guys, or maybe even specifically from veterans?
Oh, yes. And in fact, oh, yes. But we had just attended the Veterans Wheelchair Games in Minnesota, and we had a veteran who was just really over the moon with this and wanted to be on tape and give his testimonial. His name is Chad, and he has been expressing how much it has changed his life and given him his independence, where it allows him to go out and kind of get engaged with the community and go where he wants to go. It gives him that freedom.
Hi, I'm Chad. I give UI Medical permission to use the video here, and I just wanted to let you know that the product actually has changed my life and really improved my quality of life. I found out about it at a private hospital. They trained me a little bit. I used it, and I've been using it since. It's really allowed me to be able to get out and move around and enjoy things that I otherwise couldn't enjoy. It's very great, very good run-in.
Freedom.
No, that's wonderful. And, I know it's different for us because we're providing care hands-on in the home or, wherever families need care for their loved ones. You're providing the tools to allow companies like us to be able to do that. But when you get those meaningful moments from people that you may otherwise never even have heard of or seen or, encountered, it really makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it?
It sure does. It really does. And if they have the dexterity to be able to use their arms and hands and such and change them themselves, they don't need to, count on a bedside caregiver or somebody to be with them in the stalls in the men's restrooms and such, where they can actually just change it themselves. They don't need to transfer to the toilet. They can change the wrap right while sitting in their chairs.
Yeah.
So it gives them a little bit more independence.
Absolutely. And, independence, especially I think maybe for men, it might be a little more of a sensitive issue. We don't even like to ask for directions sometimes, but, I wanted to, kind of stick with the wheelchair situation, Kim, because, why would a gentleman in a wheelchair who does not medically need to be catheterized choose the QuickChange Wrap over, say, a diaper or a brief?
Well, because a lot of times when you're in a brief or a diaper and you're going out and you're going to a restaurant with your family or you're traveling and such, there's no need of having to leave the chair. So as I said before, getting out of the chair onto the toilet, transferring, it takes a lot of physicality, not just for the user, but for maybe somebody who is assisting him in being able to do so and having to use the larger abilities, restrooms and such like that.
Mm-hmm.
But even for those that are catheterized, even the thought of hanging a urine bag off the chair or something, they don't have to do that. So it can be hidden. It's easy access. It's a matter of maybe just wearing a large sizer in the pants so that it tucks fairly nicely into the fly area. And it's a matter of just pulling down if they are wearing a brief over the top. So let's say they're dual incontinent as well. They can just open the fly here, pull down the front of the brief inside, and everything is up front. So it's going to be very easy for them to be able to change it, throw away the soiled one, not have to carry it with them, but just carry the flat. They pack very easily in backpacks or briefcases and such, be able to pull one out and apply it. So I think it's just a matter of time, accessibility, and ease of access and application.
Absolutely. Kim, I want to talk a little bit more about, wheelchair users of the QuickChange Wrap. And I know you kind of touched on some of it, but I want to see if you want to provide any further follow-up on that. How does the QuickChange Wrap benefit wheelchair users?
It gives them the ability to have something soft and something, as I said, ease of access. Because the wrap holds so much, 500 mLs, which is about 17 ounces, it may be bulky, it may be warm, but it's going to maintain that skin integrity. And one of the challenges that a lot of the wheelchair users have is that when you have leakage from catheters or from briefs where it doesn't not just absorb, but like the QuickChange Wrap, it wicks away. It pulls all that moisture, all that urine away from the skin, traps it within the unit, and holds it. It's a super absorbent polymer bead that is manufactured into the inside, behind, and underneath the top sheet. That is activated on bodily temperature fluid, so that urine will activate the beads. They will blow up just like a high-end baby's diaper. You'll know when to change them, but again, it's going to be ease of use. And the fact that you're maintaining that skin integrity, as I started to say, is that, there's a lot of skin breakdown when you get those leakages, those pressure injuries and such. And you'll see if you visit our website that the Mayo Clinic did a study on the QuickChange versus briefs and catheters and such, and how it has reduced what they call a HAPI, their hospital-acquired pressure injury. So it's allowed patients to be able to maintain that skin integrity and not get those wounds and not get those infections and breakdown. So if the patient also doesn't have to be catheterized, this is a great alternative to those catheters and being able to not get COTIs, which is the catheter-associated urinary tract infections. They're costly. It's makes you ill, and you're on antibiotics. And this is just another way of preventing that at a nice cost savings.
That's wonderful. And just sticking here with the wheelchair as well, because I think it's so important. And, caring for individuals in a wheelchair already presents some challenges. And then you take the incontinence issue on top of that, presents another, obstacle. What's the ease of changing the QuickChange Wrap while in a wheelchair? Can it be changed?
Oh, well, yes. And like we were talking about, there's different body types too. So the wrap actually can address those that have a shaft, that are retracted, that have little to no shaft, maybe an indwelling anatomy. And then there's those heavier bariatric type patients where the genitals are being hidden under the stomach and the pannus. This wrap, depending on the applications, can address every one of these issues and keep that fungal and yeast infection at bay. If you go to our website, you can see the different applications on our user guides, but also on our little videos, our more comprehensive video that's available. We always have tutorials. And the one thing about QuickChange and about our company is that we have educators always that can call you back within 24 hours and walk you through the program. Now, because it is such a new product and because it is so different, it may take a few practice sessions to get it down and learn how to work with one individual's anatomy. But once you see the efficacy of the wrap and how at ease it is to change, I think they're going to be very, very pleased. And that's why a lot of these men come back and tell us that, wow, this has really changed my life, my quality of life.
Absolutely. And I want to just have you real quick for people that might be listening to the podcast and not watching the show. Could you call out the toll-free number for us, Kim?
Yes, actually, I think it is on we can pull that up now and put it up there. For veterans, we have our FSS number, which is the Federal Supply Schedule, and that allows the hospitals to order, but also our, what we call the CMOP, which is their Consolidated Mail Order Pharmacy. And you'll see on the screen, you've got the CMOP ID number. And let's see here. I believe it starts with an X. I think you see it there.
Yeah, So the CMOP ID number is XK038, and then the FSS formulary ID number is 36F799721D0124, and that's the FSS formulary number. But we also have the toll-free number, which is 1-800-206-2816, that I believe is answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
That's wonderful.
But let me explain to you about the CMOP. What that is, it's for veterans. If they have their physician actually provide an order to the CMOP pharmacy, they will be covered at 100%. So veterans, a big thank you to y'all and for your service, but this is something that you can acquire through your mail order pharmacy CMOP, and that's why we provided these numbers for you. For commercial consumers and consumers with no insurance and such, the QuickChange can be purchased through Walmart and CVS shelves and their e-commerce platform as well. You can also order through Amazon.com, through our website.com, QuickChange.com. And what we've done also is if you go to our homepage, if you're looking to have your insurance cover it, United Healthcare does cover a portion of it. Medicaid in some states will cover a portion of it. You just have to check your state and formularies. But when you go to the QuickChange.com website and you go down on the homepage to the bottom, under resources, you'll see Medicaid and insurance. When you click on that, it'll give you a breakdown of all the different ways that insurance may cover it. But at the bottom of the page is a prior authorization form. And for commercial insurance, if you have your physician or your urology specialist fill out that form and attach his visit summary to it, showing the indication for medical necessity, that can be submitted to the patient's own insurance company for prior approval. So that will help.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I want to, another question, because you had kind of alluded to it about, the fungal growth and, skin and irritation and things. In maintaining skincare and hygiene, what are some of the main things that men in wheelchairs need to really think about?
Sure. Well, I think the first and most important thing is just regular cleaning, making sure the urine isn't mixing with the feces, because that can irritate the skin and break it down and lead to infections. But cleaning the affected area thoroughly and to completely have it dry after each urine incontinence episode. Also, barrier creams. When you're using the wrap and you're including the scrotums into the wraps, we always suggest using a thin layer of barrier cream underneath that sensitive skin to also, keep the skin from the moisture infections. Breathable fabrics, that's always a nice tip. And that's what's great about the quick changes because it is a breathable material, but it wicks away all that moisture off the skin. So also we probably would suggest checking for skin issues, just making sure you're regularly checking the skin for redness, irritations, and signs of infection. And maybe consider purchasing a chair cushion for wheelchairs that will help with promoting airflow and reducing that moisture buildup as well. But always we suggest consulting your physician for specific answers to your specific needs.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to kind of stick here for a minute with, finding the right quick change wrap that will work for all different body types. Does QuickChange Wrap offer varieties that will work for all different body types and challenges?
Well, we don't have all types. As I said, it's one size and one shape. And just depending on what the anatomy is, we have our usage guides that will address each particular scenario, even up to scrotal edema. For those gentlemen who are experiencing swelling in their testicles and such, it's a great way to separate the skins, contain the urine, and elevate the scrotum to give him some relief when he's laying down. So the swollen scrotum is not dropping down between the thighs and creating infection and chafing between those thighs as well.
Yeah.
So I just can't say enough about the way that it has just come to changing men's lives and giving them the independence and the forethought that maybe I can go out and get more involved and more engaged in my community because I have the ability to just change within a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and not having to have the extra help. And when you do need the extra help with a caregiver and stuff, it's going to be easier for the both of you also because there's no lifting, there's no transferring, everything is done in the chair.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, it gives them the confidence that they can go out in public again. But I also, but overall, it's just improving their quality of life, which can have so many, rippling positive effects on their overall health that, it makes a tremendous difference just being able to use the quick change wrap.
Really does.
So for all these people that are listening and watching this, either now or in the future, Kim, where do you want them to go to buy the quick change wrap? Is it available wherever they shop at, or where's the best place to go?
Retail brick and mortar shops, Walmart and CVS shelves do carry them. If they're not on the shelves, they can be ordered through those two retailers' e-commerce websites. Amazon.com, as we said before, and also on our website, QuickChange.com. If this really works for them, I would suggest them getting on a monthly subscription of ours, which they get one case automatically shipped per month. And what that does is it gives them about a 28-day supply. The average person will go through about 5 to 6 quick change wraps in a day, depending on if they're on a Lasix or a diuretic, outputting a lot more volume and such. But what that does, it'll drop the price significantly per wrap when you're doing it that way, when you get on the subscription with us. But we're very proud to be able to share this and give these gentlemen another option.
Absolutely. And I know you alluded to it earlier, but you just mentioned about the price and the subscription and things. Can you share again, is the quick change wrap covered by Medicaid or commercial insurance?
In some states, as I said, it is covered in some states with Medicaid, just a percentage. Some have complete coverage, some have percentage coverage, some have no coverage. But we're trying to get that worked out. And as you know, Medicaid changes their formulary every year, so it's a constant resubmission.
Feels like every month sometimes.
Yeah, it really does. But commercially, United Healthcare, a lot of their plans will cover a portion of it. It's a reimbursable. It's not like a discount right off the top. So they'll have to take their receipts and submit them for reimbursement. But quite frankly, when you're talking about all the other equipment that comes with briefs and the infection and the antibiotics and the topical creams and the fungal creams and that type of thing, you may pay a few cents more for a wrap versus a diaper or a brief, but the outcome and the efficacy and the long term, you're going to be having cost savings. Think about the linen changes. There's going to be less linen changes because everything is contained up front and separated from the feces. And even if you have to use 2 wraps just for precaution, you can always reuse a wrap that hasn't been soiled. So you're really not losing any money out there as well.
Absolutely. And you're investing in your health, right? That's the bottom line. You're investing in your health. And Kim, I always appreciate you joining us, and we're proud supporters and partners of QuickChange Wrap and your amazing team there. I want to just close out with something about veterans, because that's how we kind of started today. Understanding that many, many veterans hospitals have implemented the QuickChange Wrap into their daily patient care. Is there a specific way that veterans can order the QuickChange Wrap once they've been discharged from the hospital?
Oh, absolutely. And also it's going back to the hospitals and stuff, it's also included in their CLC, which is their community living centers. So those that are there for post-acute but long-term, they're being used in there as well. So through the veterans, when they're discharged, they can have their veterans, their VA physician or their PA, physician's assistants, write an order to the CMOP pharmacy, which we talked about is the Consolidated Mail Order Pharmacy. And we have the, I believe you're going to put up the ID number for that order, starting with an X there, X0. Again,
X.
We have so many numbers in our heads these days. I appreciate you putting them out on the front of the screen.
Yeah, and we'll have it in the show notes as well, but I'm just going to read it off because not everybody watches the show. Sometimes they just listen. So for our viewers or listeners, the CMOP ID is XK038, and that is XK038.
Right. You can let your physician know that, but they should have that information themselves also when they visit the CMOP pharmacies. And if there's ever any question and you're having difficulty getting it ordered through their CMOP, please call our help desk, our customer service. They're really good about walking you through the steps and procedures of how to get this to your physician and such. So, and as I said, for commercial patients in wheelchairs as well, the prior authorization forms are on our website, and our customer service can walk you through that as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, Kimberly Anderson, Director of Business Development at UI Medical, makers of the QuickChange Wrap. Always a pleasure. Thank you for being here today, and we look forward to our next conversation with you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
One of the most humiliating parts about being paralyzed is peeing yourself. Sometimes it seems like nothing I do, not even medication or Foley catheters, can stop the amount of leaks that I have. Worst of all is at night when there's nothing that I can do about it, or so I thought, until I found QuickChange. This easy to apply incontinence solution is deployable in seconds without having to change into a whole diaper. It's perfect for hospital care and those of us who want a quick and easy solution for leaking. It can also hold up to 500 milliliters of pee in a single wrap. That's a lot of pee. Recently, my leaking got so out of control that even with my Foley catheter in, urine was coming out the sides of it. Yikes. QuickChange is the only solution that was able to wrap around my unit and the Foley catheter, catching the extra urine running out the sides. I was able to fall back asleep easy, knowing my leaks were accounted for. If you or someone you know could benefit from QuickChange, you can use code MASON10 to get 10% off of your first order. Peace.
My name's Norm, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my use of the QuickChange. I'm a veteran, and I'm in my 70s, and I found that I needed a little extra help, and the product has been just great for me. I find that I don't use it all the time. I use it whenever I'm going to be driving, or when I like to use it at nighttime. It does a good job of letting me sleep through the night, whereas otherwise I would be up and down 3 or 4 times. It's comfortable to use. It's easy to use. It's easy to dispose of, which is not always the case with a full underwear. It's difficult to get into and out of, whereas this, it's easy. You don't have to lose your balance or anything. It works out very easily. That's about what I can tell you about it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today here at All Home Care Matters. All Home Care Matters is here to help families as they navigate these long-term care issues. We invite you to visit us at allhomecarematters.com, where there's a private, secure, fillable form where you can give us feedback, show ideas, or if you have questions. Every form is read and responded to. And remember, you can listen to the show on any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms or watch the show on our official YouTube channel. Just make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. We'd also like to say thank you again to Kimberly Anderson for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you again here at All Home Care Matters.
Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to you joining us again on another episode of All Home Care Matters. To learn more about the show and to connect with us, visit us at allhomecarematters.com.